Emily, and this is the M Project, where I'm talking about mental health, mindfulness, and the meaning of life. So ultimately, this is a project around mental health. That's at its core. It's a mental health nonprofit. The ultimate goal is to support the mental health of our culture and inspire positive change in the mental health of our culture. But I focus specifically on the intersection of mindfulness and mental health, and then the meaning of life is woven in there as well because, for one, in my personal journey, meditation and mindfulness was the tool that ultimately helped me to transform my mental health, and then I could learn more, about all of the other factors that were impacting my mental health, and I could go to therapy, I could do somatic work, and I could use these other tools and resources. But ultimately, mindfulness, the awareness of my mind, the awareness of my thought patterns, the awareness of my mental health was everything to me. And I think that it is so important, and it is such a powerful tool. And I find, I had mentioned in my last video that, our mental health is really complex. And I feel that in the toxic culture that we live in today with processed food and environmental toxins and social media, we are more susceptible than ever to mental health challenges that can be caused by a whole range of factors, from our hormone health to chronic stress, inflammation, subconscious programming, gut issues. So that's all our mental health. And I believe that when we develop a mindfulness practice and when we strengthen that awareness of our mind and that separation between us and the expression of our mental health challenges, whatever the cause, it's a superpower. We are so much more resilient against the challenges. We're able to create space from them. We're able to distinguish ourselves from them, and we're able to realize that we are not our mind, we are not our thoughts, we are not our mental health, and they're not our fault. It removes some of the shame and the blame around it, because with that space of seeing our mental health, of seeing the negative thought patterns, of seeing the stress, the worry, the anxiety, the depression, that we realize that we're something else. And then we feel safe enough to explore them, to realize their roots, to understand that they might be coming from a hormonal imbalance, gut dysbiosis, all of these other things that I had mentioned. And so that's why I believe that talking about the intersection of mindfulness and mental health is so important. And I want to specifically talk about mindfulness today. And I thought, what better way to talk about mindfulness than to actually embody it. So I wanted to guide us through a quick meditation, just with the goal of getting us more into our body, into the present moment, out of the stories in our head, out of the past and the future where we often live, into this present moment to really feel, because there's one thing to consciously and cognitively be aware of presence and to be aware of not being in the past and the future and the stories in our head, but to really feel that, not only in our mind, but in our nervous system, and to feel the safety of that, and then to move through your day from that place. I mean, when you change your state of awareness, you change your entire world, because our mind is the filter through which we perceive reality. We're not just out there living life, experiencing the world exactly as it is. We're experiencing it through the filter of our mind, through the filter of our mental health. And so when we kind of clear the fog and we wipe the window a little bit, and we actually come back to a little bit more of a connection with what's actually real, our entire world changes. And so I would like to offer that right now. And so just find a comfortable position. If you're walking or if you're driving, don't close down your eyes, please. You can just soften your gaze a little bit and listen. But find a comfortable position and just rest your feet somewhere on the ground if you can. And whenever you're ready, just close down your eyes or maybe soften your gaze. And just take an inhale through the nose, filling up. Then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out, and with the sigh, let something go. Settling deeper into your body, deeper into the earth. Another breath just like that. Inhale up through the nose. This time watching the air as it fills up your belly, travels up into your chest. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and then open up your mouth. Exhale, sigh it out, let something go. One more just like that. Inhale through the nose. Slowest, deepest breath. Holding for just a moment longer at the top. And then exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out, let something go. Noticing the sensation of your feet meeting the floor, your seat on a chair or the ground beneath you. And just feeling the earth holding you up. And as you continue breathing in a way that feels natural to you without having to change anything, maybe you notice that this was the first time that you intentionally breathed all day. Maybe you notice that you've been lost in stories in your mind to where you haven't noticed something that you've been doing all day. And that's okay, because it brought you to this moment right now where maybe you notice a little difference when you are intentional and you are present with your breath. And with each inhale, envision that you are creating space between your thoughts, filling your body with air, taking up a little more room so there's a little less room for the thoughts. And with each exhale, settling deeper into this present moment. Just keeping your awareness on your breath as it travels through your body, in through your nose. And back out into the space around you. Maybe now noticing your interconnectedness with that space. The air coming from the world around you into your body, into your lungs, giving you life. Back out into the world and sharing that life with the world. And if thoughts start to come up, if stories start to appear in your mind, can you just welcome them? Can you just allow them to be there? There doesn't have to be a second thought about those thoughts. Can you just be a witness as the thoughts come into your mind and then release back out just like the air that we're breathing. Notice as they come in. Notice as they release back out. And as the thoughts might slow down, as your breath might slow down, maybe you notice that your heartbeat slows down a little bit too. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale back out the nose. Drawing your awareness to your body. And just noticing if, as the stories in your mind get a little quieter, as your awareness of the present moment and everything that is here, that is real right now, if your body is speaking to you, if you hear anything or feel anything that you might not have felt when you were a little more distracted. Noticing if there's any tension coming up in your body. And just like the thoughts, just like the breath, you don't have to change anything, you don't have to do anything, just give yourself permission right here, right now, to just be, to just watch, to just witness, and to just feel. And if there is any tension in your body, can you breathe that breath to those spaces where you notice tension? And with each exhale, maybe noticing some of that tension melting away, allowing you to settle deeper into your body, deeper into the earth, deeper into this present moment with less distractions, less filters getting in the way of you right here, right now, connected to the present moment, connected through your breath to the space around you. Connected to who you really are underneath the stories, underneath the thoughts of the past and the future. So maybe now you notice that those are just stories. When they're not there, when there's not that voice in your head. Who are you underneath the stories? And you don't have to use more stories to describe who you are. Maybe it's just a feeling. And realizing that everything is perfect exactly as it is right here, right now. Because you are alive, and that is the greatest gift of all. And allow yourself to just sit with yourself in this moment, breathing, feeling, being alive, with nowhere to be, nothing to do. And with an inhale, breathe all of that in so you can carry it with you into your day, filling up open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Let anything else go. Whenever you're ready, you can bring some gentle movement back into your body. And blink back open your eyes if you closed them. But again, if you were walking or driving, I hope that you did it. Thank you so much. It is truly such a gift to get to just be yourself in the present moment. Nothing to do, nothing to be, nowhere to go. Just be. And it is the most safe feeling in the entire world. It's all that our nervous system is craving. And I hope that you feel a little bit of that too. Thank you for trusting me. I know that in this culture that we live in, that's so go, 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 and so productive, and there is so much to do, and there is so much to be, that it takes a lot of courage to drop beneath that and to remember that the greatest gift that you can give anything and anyone is your presence, is your state of mind, your state of body. And practices like this for me are how I can connect to that space and how I can then share it with the world. But I invite you to find practices that work for you. You know, it doesn't have to be closing your eyes and breathing and connecting to your body, connecting to your breath, allowing the thoughts to be there, allowing them to quiet. There are many ways to connect to the present moment, to start to discover who you really are underneath the thoughts. You can do it by walking, you can do it by surfing, by running, by creating art, so many different ways. So I invite you to find something that works for you, that allows you to drop underneath the stories just for a moment, just to realize that you're not them. And I really like the analogy that, meditation or mindfulness, it's like going to the gym and lifting weights. And so the ultimate goal is to get stronger, just like with meditation or mindfulness, the ultimate goal is to be more present. But the practice itself is not being stronger. You don't go to the gym and you're just strong. The practice is lifting the weights. And so it's the same thing with a meditation or a mindfulness practice. The practice is the reps of noticing the thoughts coming up and allowing them to pass, of noticing the thoughts coming up and bringing your awareness to something other than the thoughts. And so that is doing the practice. I think so many people are intimidated by meditation because they think that they're doing it wrong. They think that because there are thoughts, because there's a lot of noise and distraction and stories in their head that, they failed, that they did it wrong. And my invitation is, number one, there's no wrong way to do it. I promise you, when you get present, your experience is exactly what you needed in that moment. And sometimes that's a really busy mind, because maybe that's motivation enough to encourage you to do it the next time. Or maybe like in my case, where when I meditated for weeks and I was just in the thoughts, judging myself because I'm not able to do it, that then when I finally did feel what it meant to not be my thoughts, it was life-changing. And I think I needed all of that time of not feeling that for it to then, the dichotomy and the juxtaposition of the two was mind-blowing, So it was perfect. And trust that it is perfect for you too. And that those are the reps. You're just going to the gym, you're just lifting the weights. Every time you notice a thought and you come back to presence, that's another rep, that's another weight, because then the goal in life isn't to just be present necessarily. It's that when there are the mental health challenges, when there's the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the worry, the doubt, the fear, all of those things, that you catch them, you know, that they're there and you lift the weight, you know, like you bring yourself back to presence. So it's not just the presence, it's that tether back. And so noticing thoughts is a good thing, because it means that you have this opportunity to lift the weight. You have the opportunity to get stronger. Because when it's really loud in there, you know, when you feel like it is true, when you feel like your thoughts are fact and your thoughts are reality, the more that you have a practice outside of that to bring yourself back to presence, I mean, it could save your life. I really, really believe that. So thank you so much for being here with me, for being present with me, for being the beautiful miracle that you are and sharing that with the world. Yeah, it means the world to me. See you next time.